views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Looking for something, a new way, a new understanding, a connection, some comfort. You've got questions, and Light on Living puts the spotlight on all the answers so you can shine. Lift and lighten the load of life's challenges and learn simple and easy ways to live a healthy, happy life. You'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you. You're invited to hear new, see different, and feel more as Lisa shines the light on living.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Light on Living, the Christmas show. I hope everybody can hear that, because right now, today, we are having our wonderful, beautiful Christmas show. I'm so excited that you're here with us right now, sharing this time. It's such a special day. To let everybody know, I am your host, Lisa Berry, Light Coach Lisa, nutritionist and life coach, helping to lighten the load of life's challenges. As you can hear, if you've listened to the show before, I'm always excited, but I'm just extra excited today. Just the joy and the happiness, and holidays always bring that out in the most of us. I know at times it can be stressful, and if right now you are just a little sad or if you're a little bit lonely, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you're here, and we're going to have some fun stories, and we're going to listen to lots of music this show. I wanted to really jam-pack this show with not just the music, but stories behind the music. And an even extra special share, I'm going to be airing some music that I myself recorded over a decade ago, actually. It's a long time ago with a lot of love. It was for my dear best friend. I wanted to create a special gift for her. And so I recorded a lot of Christmas carols, and they were just for fun originally. But, you know, just as I said, the Christmas season, the holiday season really opens up our hearts and connects us. And what better way to do that with music? So I'm actually at a very special location. Lots of special stuff going on today. I'm at a special location. I'm here with Eric Lambier. You'll hear him every week as he is the piano player and the voice of the intro to the show. He's also going to be, well, he actually did the music for the Christmas carols that we'll be airing. And he's going to have some little input for today's show, sharing this special Christmas cheer. And as we come along, I want to start with let's just start this right off with I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas. It's going to be a beautiful song. Just listen to it, and we're going to have some fun stories afterwards. So here you go. Enjoy the music.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like treetops glisten and chill.
I know I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It's always fun when I think about snow that way. I live in Canada, so of course we definitely get snow, but we don't always have it for Christmas. Interesting story. I researched this song because I thought, everybody does sing it. I wonder what the backstory is. And though a fella, Irving Berlin, who was Jewish, actually wrote that, and they celebrate Hanukkah, Bing Crosby was somebody who made it really famous. And as I was looking this up, I found a story that Steve Ember wrote. He does a holiday program. And I'm going to read his words of the backstory to this lovely song. So this is by Steve Ember, as I just said, and it starts off saying, music fills the air. Colorful lights shine brightly in windows. Children and adults open gifts from loved ones and friends. These are all Christmas traditions. Another tradition is snow. Christmas in the northern part of the world comes a few days after the start of winter. In many places, a blanket of clean white snow covers the ground on Christmas Day. This is what is meant by a white Christmas. Of course, many places do not get snow at Christmas. In fact, they may be very warm this time of year. People who like snow but live where it's warm can only dream of having a white Christmas. American songwriter Irving Berlin captured these feelings in his song, White Christmas. It's one of the most popular Christmas songs of all time. The opening words explain why the singer is dreaming of a white Christmas, but most people have never heard these words, so they never really understand the true meaning of the song. So we're going to share how it starts. The sun is shining, the grass is green. The orange and palm trees sway. I've never seen such a day in Beverly Hills, L.A. But it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north where it's cold and snowy, not south where it's warm and sunny. And actually, I'm reading these words and I'm thinking, goodness, I bet a lot of people are okay with being in that sunny, warm weather. Well, to end this, over the years, hundreds of singers and musicians have recorded White Christmas, but the version most people still know best was sung by Bing Crosby. Songwriter Irving Berlin was born in Russia in 1888. He did not celebrate Christmas as a religious holiday because he was Jewish, but his song celebrates an idea of peace and happiness that everyone, anywhere, snowy or not, can enjoy. I love the ending to that part so much because, as he says, and that's what I'm sharing this with you right now, is that no matter where you are, no matter who you're with, it doesn't matter if it's snowy or not, we can all enjoy the peace and the happiness. And in sharing that, there's been, for many, many years, everybody knows I love my cats. And for me, I didn't have to be with anybody, not any real person, as long as I had my cats. And I could never imagine waking up on Christmas morning and not being with them. They're such an important part of my family and what matters most to me and brings me peace and happiness. And so just a reminder of anybody, wherever you are, I'd love to know how you are spending your Christmas. Email me. It's Lisa at lightonliving.com and share with me. Tell me, where are you spending Christmas? Who are you spending it with? And especially let me know if you're spending it with just yourself or with some lovely family animals and pets. This Christmas will be fun for me because I've got a fish and a frog joining my clan. And also too, I was really looking back at the year that Lisa, the songwriter, he actually wrote this as he was born in 1888. And as we just heard, the song didn't become popular till much later. And I found that just a reminder that no matter what you're doing in life right now, sometimes it takes a long time. Sometimes it takes super fast. It just flies up just as Santa in the sky with his reindeer. But you know what? Don't give up what you're doing and just have that peace and joy and happiness in what you're doing, because you never know when you get to see the fruits of the labor. But it doesn't really matter as long as you enjoy what you're doing. I've got a couple minutes here before commercial, and I'm going to just come right in and share this. It was an experience that I've had in my life, and just letting everybody know that original songwriter, Irving Berlin, was born in Russia, and he was Jewish. I was brought up Anglican originally, and all of a sudden, when I was 8 years old, my parents came to me as a child. I mean, I'm 8, fully committed to Santa Claus, fully committed to the elves, and believe that they're up north working away and doing their thing. And my parents decided that we would celebrate the Jewish faith, not completely and as an entirety, but they would blend it with the Anglican faith. So I had this very interesting experience of, first of all, I never in my wildest dreams, I thought as an 8-year-old, probably considered any other possibility of celebrating Christmas in any other way. That was exactly how it was. And I really appreciate that my parents had done it as a family and came and said, you know what, there's other ways of doing this. It's not just about presents or and I don't want to say that they took away the magic. They certainly did. That wasn't their intention. Of course, as an 8-year-old, I certainly was a little bit distraught and had to make a deal with my father. I actually had to negotiate, and I said I would only go along with this if he would promise me that somewhere in the world there was a man and a family with little helpers that made these really special gifts for children and deliver them around the world in some way. So, of course, my dad agreed, because that is absolutely true, that there are so many loving, giving, generous people in this world, and he did the right thing for me, and it made life a lot easier, I'm sure. But celebrating Hanukkah was something that we got to do for many years to come, and got to learn that there's not just one way and that there's many ways of doing things. And I have these little neat memories of playing dreidel or hanging up the signs and the Star of David, or we had blue Christmas lights instead of green and red. So even the color got changed. So as we go into commercial here, we're going to come back. We're going to have some more stories like that, some personal and some history, and listen to some more music. So continue listening to our Christmas show, and we'll come back with some fantastic songs.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Humanity Healing International is a small nonprofit with a big dream. Since 2007, HHI has been working tirelessly to bring help to communities with little or no hope. Our projects are not broad mandates, nor are they overnight solutions, but they bring the reassurance that no one is alone and that someone cares. To learn more, please visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on Om Times Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
Welcome back to the Cat Show. Up next, we have Nico. Nico is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right. A group known especially for their sunspot sleeping, ball chasing, leg rubbing, and of course, companionship. Just look how she struts.
It's like she owns the place.
And see how she curls up and cuddles her person.
The pitch on her purring is simply perfect.
Nice one.
Fantastic cat. But really the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Nico is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Light on Living, the Christmas show. All these wonderful sounds. I think that's one of the best parts of Christmas for me. I know I go around the house singing, and the cats often get to hear this, but there's one song I tend to always sing. It's the first carol that I sing every year. It's just the one that comes to mind. Oh, I'd love to know what Christmas carol you sing. What is the song? What is the Christmas carol that you first think of? Like if I were to say, right, surprise, what is your favorite Christmas carol? Please let me know. So again, I'm going to invite you to email me, lisa@lightonliving.com, or you know what? Just go to the Facebook page, Light on Living or Lisa Berry. It's berry like a strawberry, Berry, and let me know your favorite Christmas carol. So as I said, this is going to be my favorite Christmas carol. It's the one that I tend to sing very first off all the time. In fact, I probably sing it in the summertime as well. It is Walking in a Winter Wonderland. That's a fun song, and it's totally winterish and Christmassy. And so we're going to hear a story about how it was written, why it was written, after we listen to it first. So please enjoy Winter Wonderland.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight, walking in a winter wonderland. winter wonderland. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Okay, who doesn't want to go for a walk now? Like that I could just imagine. And you know what the fun part is? I love Christmas movies. So every time I watch movies, that's what you see. You see them just walking in a winter wonderland. And it's just so enjoyable. It really gets you going. Your spirits all risen, and you see the trees and all the decorations outside. And so thank you all for sharing and listening to that beautiful song. And we'll find out at the end of the show which song is stuck in your head and which one you're going to be singing for the rest of the day. But I want to share a story about Winter Wonderland. I myself didn't even know these things, so I really had fun looking up where these songs came from. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of history on A Walk in Winter Wonderland here. In countries with seasonal climates and cold winters, no other song conjures up images of the joys of freshly fallen snow quite like the easy melody and cheerful lyrics of Winter Wonderland. Although originally not intended to be a Christmas song, see, that was a surprise. The piece has become intricately tied to the holidays, making it one of the great classics that has been interpreted by numerous famous artists. Here's the creation of it. Despite its upbeat character, which this is a little bit, I'll have to give a warning here. It's kind of sad. But despite the upbeat character, the story behind this hugely popular song is anything but joyful. In a particularly cold, long winter during the early 1930s, a young man named Richard Smith, who had been suffering from then still widespread and devastating disease of tuberculosis, found himself in a home in Pennsylvania, recovering from yet another bout of the deadly infection. Days were long and spent in the comfort of his room, daydreaming about a normal and healthy life that would enable him to play outside in the snow like the children he was observing from his window. This innocent scene inspired the young man to write a beautiful poem, invoking the carefree fun of a day in the snow. Smith even worked a bit He worked in a bit of the local flavor into his poem when he mentioned Parson Brown. This is a reference to a parson, or an independent priest of the Protestant faith, who were not associated with any specific parishes or churches. Back in those days, they often traveled through the country performing interdenominational services and ceremonies when nobody else was available to do so. Now, I had to just interject here. Interdenominational, this is so funny because I just shared my story of the Jewish faith being introduced to me. So happy with the results, Smith showed the lyrics to his friend and musician Felix Bernard in 1934. Touched by his sick friend's lovely poem, which clearly expressed his desire to flee the limitations his illness had put upon him, Bernard immediately set to work at composing a melody to go along with the words. Sadly, Smith never really saw the fruits of his work as he passed away, ravaged by the disease, at a young age of 34, a year after Bernard wrote the unforgettable music to Smith's poem. So I'm so glad he got to hear it. Well, Felix Bernard, however, enjoyed much fame in the years following that would be the first of countless recordings. Born Felix William Van Hart in 1897 in New York City, he was a child prodigy playing the piano, and after completing his musical education, earned a living by composing pieces for various vaudeville establishments, as well as accompanying orchestras on the piano. Eventually, he founded his own band and then died in 1944. The rise to fame. In 1934, so going back ahead a lot, Joey Nash, who performed with Richard Himbert, got a hold of Bernard's latest song, and it did not take long before it made its recording debut on RCA Bluebird. The recording featured vocals by Nash, who was accompanied by Himbert and his Hotel Ritz-Carlton Orchestra. December 1934 saw another release of Winter Wonderland,
this time by the hugely popular Guy Lombardo and his orchestra, taking it to the top of the charts for the first time. A decade later, Perry Como landed yet another smash hit with his interpretation of the Christmas song, followed by a long list of favorite artists who did their own take, including Pat Boone, Paul Anka, Frank Sinatra, Barry Manilow, Bing Crosby, and Elvis Presley, just to name a few. I really feel that this song there had so many little characters in there and so many fun things that reminded. And when you hear about that story, just why people write the things they do. Like, this wasn't even going to be a Christmas song, and yet it turned out to be. And I often think that is how we come to be in that mindset and that philosophy of not attaching to outcome. Here's a man who was just not feeling well, and it just was doing what was passionate to him. He was writing a poem. He had no other vision. And then things just turn about. Things just happened because he followed that and ended up partnering and teaming up. And here's another fellow with his passion who writes melodies and ends up being this beautiful pairing. And you could never imagine the journey that song went on. You think about and how the longevity and the century, literally the century that journey took, and it will continue. And here I am right now sharing this with you. So this is just a beautiful lesson all wrapped into everything. And I think that's what sometimes I like to think about with Christmas, because it's something that we celebrate every year, and we mark these accomplishments. And with that being said, I'm so excited to share another Christmas poem written by May Stein, and it's called A Friend for Christmas. If a gift wish for Christmas would come true, I'd wish for a wonderful friend like you. I'd decorate a tree for Christmas night that shows off our friendship from heaven's light. Having a special friend so close and dear to help celebrate this in the next year, to tell our secrets, pleasures to use, you'd be that one friend that my heart would choose. Christmas is special with a friend close by, one that will be near till the day we die. If only one gift, a wish to come true, I'd wish that wonderful friend to be you. Again, with these writings and these poems, is Christmas something that inspires you? Do you want to write a Christmas song or a poem, or how about Christmas cards? This is the time that I don't know how forgotten this is, because we can easily send beautiful email cards now they're called e-cards, I guess. I know my dad, the first time he sent me an e-card, I thought, oh my gosh, this is getting fancy for him. But they're fun. They're animated, and they have this music that can play with them. But handwriting a Christmas card is just as special and takes that time, and that packing all the cards up and counting them and going to the post office and making sure we have the special postage for the mail that's going to have long travels and distances to go. And then imagining them opening the card and knowing that somebody thought of you and reading the words so thoughtfully expressed. And I think that's what I really wanted to share, this music and the stories behind these songs with you today. And as you celebrate whatever way you are celebrating, and like I said earlier, whomever you're celebrating this with. I have just a few more poems here, and here's one I came across and really enjoyed. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. That was Charles Dickens. And in sharing that one, many of us remember the past, the present, and the future. In fact, that's a favorite story, a favorite movie that is shared, a time of review and a time of looking at what has been important in our lives and how we share those happy and peaceful moments. There's a tradition, I think, in all cities and towns, is the lighting of the Christmas tree. And that would be something I would so look forward to, and I'd really rally everybody and get together. Oh, it's the Christmas tree lighting. Let's all go down to the city square and do the countdown and watch the tree. And I did this for years and years and years. Although I threw a temper tantrum one year, and I have to get back into the spirit, but I was very disappointed in how they decorated our tree one year. I wrote into the city and said, hey, we have to celebrate this a little bit with more sparkle and light. But it's still a favorite part of mine is to see. So here's another one. Let me know. Do you have your tree? Is it decorated? What color are your lights? What is your theme? I know a lot of people choose a theme for their tree. Is it ribbons? Is it just the ornaments? Is it tinsel? We don't use them. I certainly don't use tinsel anymore because it's not safe for kitty cats or dogs. I don't remember who choose what, but I know that us with the cats, not trees and tinsels are not good. So after this break, we're going to have some more music and some more stories.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back to Light on Living, the Christmas show. You know, as we just went into that commercial break, Eric is here, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show. He's actually, he sponsors the show weekly, and really happy and grateful. I wanted to give him a special thanks for doing so. So thank you, Eric.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we were just talking about Christmas trees on the break, and as I was saying, he's like, oh, you should ask them if who has an artificial tree or who is going to the farm. But yeah, I'll prefer get it for a tree. Sorry. Okay.
Right. Oh, I never thought of that. That's funny.
So yes, now I can be funny. I'm not usually. But so actually, Eric was sharing with me, and you knew about a new tradition that was being.
Well, I was in a store, and they were saying, somebody was saying that the new tradition is to hang your tree upside down from your ceiling. So I wondered if anybody's doing that, and has anybody seen that kind of thing?
Yeah, so let us know, because I've never. Now I can think of a good reason why. It's because, again, back to the cats. I can't put up a tree. I usually hang a bough up, because then the cats can't climb. They always climb it, or they bat around the Christmas ornaments or something. So maybe the person who designed this new thing about hanging upside down was because they have a lot of animals that get up there.
But the other reason somebody said might be is if their ceilings are high enough, it might be for more room.
Yes, that's another. Yes, exactly.
No, you have to be pretty high to walk under a tree. That must be a pretty big mansion. So.
I was going to say
a small tree,
or like a giant-sized mistletoe.
That's actually fun.
When we put up the artificial trees, we always put the corner, but then I just wouldn't put the back branches on, so it would take up less room.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's actually funny. So in continuing with our wonderful, beautiful Christmas music and carols, and this beautiful day. The next song we're going to play is going to be Jingle Bells. Now, as you've heard, we've had a little bells jingling along in this segment, and I love Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells is just such a fun, happy song that gets you going. But we're going to play it first, and then, of course, we have a story about it. So please enjoy and sing along with Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha! Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha! Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Woo! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And weren't those sleigh bells just fun and everything? And, I was thinking I was going to play Rudolph for you earlier, but then I just switched it right last minute. So we are still going to play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but next. But let's finish off with our we'll just go back into our Jingle Bells there. The Jingle Bells is one of the best known and commonly sung American songs in the world. So I definitely want to know if that is one of your songs. So definitely let me know on that one. It was written by James Lord Pierpont in 1822. He was born 1893. He died. So this is again, a super long time ago song that's still being sung. It was published under the title of A One-Horse Open Sleigh in the autumn of 1857. It has been claimed that it was originally written to be sung by the Sunday school choir. However, historians dispute that and stating that it was much too racy and secular to be sung by a children's church choir in the days it was written. See, it's just amazing the story behind each one of these songs and why we sing them. So, although originally intended for the Thanksgiving season and having no connection to Christmas, it's become associated with the Christmas music and the holiday season in general decades after it was first performed on Washington Street in Boston. Oh, goodness, Bostonin. I don't even think I know what that word is. Bostonin. Bostonian. No, I think I'm being corrected. Thank goodness, Bostonian. In 1857. Well, some area choirs adopted it as part of their repertoire in the 1860s and 1870s, and it was featured in a variety of parlor songs and collage anthologies in the 1880s. It was first recorded in 1889 on the Edison cylinder, and then earlier commercial. Oh, sorry. I wanted to let everybody know what an Edison cylinder was, because I wanted to look it up. I could imagine what that was. It is the earliest commercial medium for recording and reproducing sound. So I thought that was kind of a neat thing where it all started. So Jingle Bell was not very popular when it was first published in 1857. It took many years to become one of the most popular songs at Christmas time. Again, pointing out, let's really think about that. 1857, and we are 2017, and I just think that's absolutely
so encouraging. And I know that people think, oh my gosh, I don't want to wait 150, 200 years for stuff to come out. But just always just know that everything that you create has its own journey, and you never know how it's going to turn out. So among the earliest recorded versions of the song were on music boxes and other mechanical music devices. Here's something, music boxes. So I love snow globes. They're just fun and beautiful and magical. And the snow globes that are music boxes are just have that extra added touch. And that's the one Christmas ornament I'm really excited to take out of the box every year and find the perfect place for it. Do something. Let me know if you have a Christmas music box, whether it's old or new, or you have a collection. That'd be fun to let me know. I really want to know about your Christmas. So that's why I'm doing extra invitations for you to share with me. So among the earliest recorded versions of the song Jingle Bells, it did start to become that popular song, and that happened first with a spread of the what is this word? My goodness, phonograph. Goodness, I'm all excited it's Christmas and I can't read. The phonograph records, and later on radio, which allowed the song to be heard nationwide audience. The following list of recordings comes from an entry on Wikipedia, which I tracked down here, and it just goes on all the way from 1898 and scoots right through with of course the Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters, who made it the most popular. That was in 1943, and that's the recording that's most often heard today in the Christmas in the U.S. And 150 years after it was published as Jingle Bells, there are millions of listeners who know and love this song, even though it makes no mention of Christmas in its lyrics. I didn't even think of that. See, that is yet again something to be pointed out. Whether you're celebrating Christmas or another type of holiday, there's something magical in the air. There's this time of year means something to everyone, and whether it's a family memory for you, or it's a tradition that you do, it's a food that you eat, or it's a memory that you pay homage to, or you just want to have reverence to. I'm going to actually bring on Eric. When it comes to Christmas Day, now Eric's a musician, so he's often booked. He's booked every holiday and all throughout the year. But Eric, I was just thinking, do you take Christmas off, or do you find it's a time where you say, no, this is where people need me most?
Well, Christmas Day I always take off. I mean, it's to spend with family and friends and that kind of thing. But Christmas Eve Day this year, I'm actually playing for the seniors at a retirement home in the early afternoon, and then I go up to my brother's, and we enjoy Christmas there for 2 or 3 days.
So, and do they have Christmas traditions?
Well, we always listen to Christmas music, and then it's just the whole celebration of getting together with family and friends and just enjoying each other and regaling stories, possibly, you know how all stories when your childhood come up, and then your mom looks across, or your dad, and says, I didn't know you did that.
Confessions at Christmas.
This time later, what? That kind of thing. Now, can I just reiterate one thing? When you're talking about the people and not knowing what your end result is, I just refer you to a poem, which is not Christmas at all, but it's called The Road Less Traveled, which is by Robert Frost. And it's all about that. Just you rather take the road that you don't know what the end's going to be. So just back to that.
Oh, and you know what? I love that you used reference to Robert Frost, because Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, well, there we go. Back to Christmas, or back to at least the winter.
The winter and Christmas, so, yes. Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you, have you ever traveled, have you not spent Christmas in the winter and warm? Have you ever traveled south for a Christmas of yours when you were younger?
No.
No, always been in the warmth.
I think. Yeah. Well, it was warm inside. Not so much outside. I kind of think we might have gone to Mexico. I wondered if we spent, I can't remember. I'll have to ask my mom. If we actually spent Christmas in Mexico one year when I was about 11. I can't remember. I'm not sure what time of year that was.
See? So that's so interesting to think. See, there you go. That's a Christmas conversation that you can have.
And we drove. They drove us with a camper through Mexico then, when the Yucatan Peninsula didn't have all the resorts. Well, I'm showing my age, but
that's okay.
But it was under palm trees and sand, and it was a lot different than it is now.
And they do decorate the palm trees with lights and stuff, so you will have to ask. And you know what? You can't worry about your age on this show, because these songs are 150, 200 years old. So.
Well, that's almost my age.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So,
all these Christmas stories and songs. I mean, whether sometimes you just want to travel for Christmas, sometimes you want to be elsewhere, and you can still sing Christmas carols and songs no matter where you are in the world, and you can always have twinkly lights and Christmas lights and Christmas decorations. Oh, and speaking of Christmas decorations, just as before we head into commercial, I have a best friend, Shelly, 20 years, a best friend, and every year, not only do I get her a Christmas ornament, but I always get her a Christmas ornament when I travel. That's what I look for. It's the number one thing. I think, okay, no matter what time of the year it is, we're going to find a Christmas ornament. So when we come back after break, we've got some more songs for you and some more stories, and we're just thankful that you're sharing this date with us.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. Om Times Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of Om Times Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of Om Times. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
More than 24 million Americans have an autoimmune disorder, and that number continues to grow. I'm Sharon Saylor, and I'm one of those 24 million. To put that number in perspective, cancer affects about 9 million and heart disease up to 22 million. That's why I've brought together top experts and those thriving regardless of their diagnosis to bring you the latest, most up-to-date information. Join me, Sharon Saylor, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Autoimmune Hour on Life Interrupted Radio to find out how to live your life uninterrupted.
Me, a cat, moving in with a new human. It took a little getting used to. She has these weird games she likes to play, like this giant feather. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. She sticks it in my face. I swat it away. It's almost like she thinks I enjoy it. But seeing how much fun she gets out of it, well, I guess it makes it all worth it. Humans.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Welcome back to Light on Living, the Christmas show.
No, that was. Tell me what this is again.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. I forget what it's called, though.
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
written on there somewhere.
It's not.
It's like a gourd, but it's got little pegs on it. And it's like a little piano. On the right hand's all the note. Then the other one's like the black keys, and so you play hand to hand.
We'll have to take a picture. I'll post a picture of this with the correct name of the instrument. This is the fun thing about Christmas is that, well, every time of the year, but with music, you can just play any kind of song at any time and anywhere. And I'm this off speaker, so I'm popping back to the audience here. And we've got our Jingle Bells. We're going to do our Rudolph song, but I have a joke about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I have this joke. It's a silly joke, and I've remembered it for all my life, and says, you know what? We all know there's 8 reindeer, but what about the 9th? People always forget about the 9th reindeer. And so we go through all the names, and I say, well, who is this 9th reindeer? Well, of course, it's Olive. It's all of the other reindeer. So we have to, I love having that cute little joke in there thing. We're going to tell you the story about Rudolph, but first we're going to hear a little song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? Take it away, Lisa.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one fall red-nosed reindeer. You'll go down in history. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Like a light bulb.
All of the other reindeer
Olive?
used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games.
Like poker.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Tonight?
Then how the reindeer loved him, and they shouted out with glee, Yippee! Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history.
Now, did everybody sing all the names of the reindeer at the beginning of the song? Did everybody know and include Olive? Because I thought that joke might help you as you went through the names. In honor of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer song, I'd like to share with you how the song came about. So, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a song written by Johnny Marks based on the 1939 story Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, published by the Montgomery Ward Company. Gene Autry's recording hit #1 on the U.S. charts the week of Christmas in 1949. Now, what I have to share with you, and this is what caught me. So when I was reading Eric August, he wrote this in Life and Development in 2015, I really related, and this is what he wrote. It's fascinating that we can go through life with routines without even knowing where they came from or what they mean. That I connect. So I was like, yes, all these beautiful songs, I know that we're singing them at Christmas time. I know the tradition and they're fun and we know them, but what do they mean? So I'm going to read you what he wrote, and I really like this. So Rudolph is about understanding how one's unusual attributes under other conditions can be strengths. I want to read that again. Rudolph is about the understanding how one's unusual attributes under other conditions can be strengths. Of course, we're thinking of Rudolph's little nose now, aren't we? But like the case of Rudolph on Christmas Eve, sometimes they can be absolutely vital. In the song, Rudolph has a very shiny nose, and we know that most reindeers' noses, however, are not very shiny. And for the reindeer, what use is a shiny nose? In these types of social situations, it seems to be second nature to outcast people from any characteristic that isn't perceived to be normal, or at the very least of some utility. And in normal situations for a reindeer, a shiny nose isn't useful, nor is it normal. But we come to find out that under certain conditions, such as a foggy Christmas Eve, his nose was vital, and Rudolph saved Christmas. So I guess the lesson is, when it comes to someone's unusual attributes, keep your mind to the possibilities of how they can be thought of as strengths. Being too short or too tall or too loud or too quiet are by no means universal weaknesses. For example, it might seem ludicrous when a supermodel claims that they were teased for being gangly as a kid, but they probably were, despite now being thought as a very height of beauty, pun intended, and laughing all the way to the bank. The world is wide and situations change. There are things about others and about yourself that will be ostracized in some places and under some conditions, and sought after in others. You must get in where you fit in, as Too Short once proclaimed, implying that he's too short. I love that. Get in where you fit in. That is just to talk about what he is saying there. What are some things that you maybe feel, oh, I'm so different and it's not common and I'm just not like everybody else, but yes, I have found a space, somewhere I can use these, somewhere else somebody else could use them, that this is my strength. I'd love to know what you might have thought once wasn't a nice thing to have, an attribute or characteristic or skill or talent, and share with us. Tell everybody, you know what? No, I have that, because if somebody else is out there right now and they're not feeling so great about something and they recognize that you have that and you found the strength in it, that can just help lighten their load. That can help them a little bit. So, with that, I'm so hoping that somebody has shared their Christmas tree, their Christmas carol that they like, something that they are feeling like, yes, I'm like Rudolph. This is fantastic. This is something that can be totally helpful. And while we're talking about this, Christmas movie. What is your Christmas movie? What is your favorite one? What is one that you watch a certain Christmas movie every single year that comes along? Is it a movie that you watch by yourself? Is it one that you watch with your kids, your family, your pets and animals? I know that Home Alone is often one that's out there, but I'm actually going to bring Eric on, because I know that he has a Christmas movie that he watches every single year, and so I'm just going to bring you on here. So, Eric, what is the Christmas movie you always watch?
Well, I always watch A Christmas Carol. Scrooge and the original version with Alistair Sims is my favorite, probably because I grew up with it. It just reminds me of hearth and home and happiness. By the way, another thing you could mention is Christmas dinner. What do you have?
Yes.
Some people like ham. Some people like turkey.
Well, in your favorite Christmas movie there, it's the final beautiful ending about a turkey.
But a turkey, I advise it for Bob Cratchit. Right? But it's a beautiful story. It really is. It's, some people go, well, it's, an old, but I think those old stories mean a lot still. And sometimes they're forgotten in our fast-paced corporate lives.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. I love it.
And that's called the classics and the favorites. And that's what today's show is really about, is inviting you to share your classics and your favorites, or something. Maybe you want to start a whole new tradition. Maybe it's a Christmas carol that you've been inspired to write today, a poem, something that really opened your heart to something that you didn't see before, or that an experience that you're having. And not, we have to include everything and everybody here. We have a close friend that just Christmas has been always a struggle, because it was a heartache of a time, and it took a lot of forgiveness and love and compassion to be able to say, you know what, I don't want to allow that to be just a reminder. Like they didn't want Christmas to be the reminder of that heartache. They wanted to transform. They wanted to create a new experience for Christmas and have family and love and surrounding and friends and whatever means the most to them with it. And we've got about a minute before we're going to wrap up, but Eric and I are going to sing live for our final song. Something that's not right now, but just a known. And I want to do a special thanks. Thank you to everybody. A happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, and a special thank you from my heart just for sharing the whole year, really, the whole year with me and Light on Living and everything that we talk about and share, and how goofy it is or serious it is. And we really do want to lighten the load for everybody and just share that. So as we head off, we're gonna share, just from our heart, sing a beautiful short little song for you. So here we go.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ho, ho,